Hello, so it's finished. Sunderland 0, Newcastle 3, in a game that went the way I hoped it really wouldn't. The game kind of went to form. It was, end of the day, it was men against boys, exactly what it was. Better team, massive gulf in class and a massive gulf in between the two sides, short today. There was quite a little bit of things that annoyed us, and which I'll touch on in the video a little bit later. But you know, if you take the emotion out of the game and forget it's a derby, you know, at the end of the day, it's a team, richest club in the world, against a team who were run on a shoestring, scrapping about for free transfers and young players, and that kind of short today. You could say from the first whistle, we didn't turn up. We were too naive. We were too respectful. Just were offered. We were offered from the start. We couldn't play through their high press. Why we played that kind of way, we didn't really have a choice. If we play long balls, it's going to come straight back. We've got nobody up front who can fight for them, so we have to end up resorting to try and play the ball out from the back. Not good enough to do it against a team as big and strong, as physical as Newcastle. In midfield, you know, Joe Linton, Guimaraes, Longstaff, head and shoulders above Dan Neil, Outclassed and Job. Our right hand side was left exposed time and time again because we haven't got a right sided player. You know, Trey Hume was getting exposed time and time again with Anthony Gordon. His pace couldn't handle it. As a result, we couldn't get out, couldn't get the ball to Clark. Pritchard couldn't get in the game because, like I said, the midfield, we were getting steamrolled. Job was miles off it today. Now, when you see in his defence, he's 18, he's a boy, he's never experienced anything like that before, but he was miles off the pace. And he wanted half an hour on the ball when you haven't got it in the Championship, never mind against teams like Newcastle. They just steamrolled across our midfield. Like I say, Joe Linton, Guimaraes just played round us at times. Gordon caused us all sorts of trouble down the left-hand side. And you would see, you know, the goal was coming, even though, you know, for 30 minutes we held them. You know, they weren't really playing through us, if you like. Didn't really create any clear-cut openings, but the goal came from the left-hand side. Hume, a little bit naive, dives in a little bit. Gordon, Joe Linton gans past him, whips the ball in. Dan Ballard has to go for it. Clips off him into the net. It's 1-0. It's unfortunate. Can't really blame him for that. You're hoping then, you know, can we just keep it tight till half-time? I was hoping and praying we could have gotten to half-time 0-0. And then, you know, as longer the game goes on, it's better for us. You know, doubt starts to creep into their minds, but you're hoping that maybe Beale can make some changes at half-time or change some things where maybe he's just step up the pitch 4 or 5 yards. We're sitting really deep, terrified of them playing through us. And then second half, you come out and for Outclassed to give that to do what he did. You know, I get these players are better than us, they're worth more than us, but it doesn't matter what standard of football you're playing, you do not try and take somebody on in your own box. You know, he loses it, Isak just knocks it in the corner, it's 2-0, and from then it's game over really. You know, you're never going to come back from then. At 1-0, we're still in the game, still got a chance, but at 2-0, you're massively struggling. Now, this is where what annoyed me, you've got the manager who, from where I was looking at, spent more time sat in his dugout than on the touchline. We've got a team of young lads. When you're looking for experience and a guide, somebody to help you, he's more bothered about sitting, hands in his pockets, showed no passion, sitting on his arse, which that really annoyed me. Also, why wait till 80 minutes before you make a change? It's an FA Cup game. You've got now to lose. When you go 2-0 down, surely you've got to try and, you know, make some attacking changes and go for it a little bit, and we did nothing. We were passive, we were negative, we had no belief, and that all came from him. He didn't inspire us to do anything different. 80 minutes to make a change, and then you take Russian off and put Abdullah Bar on when you've got centre forwards. It just makes no sense at all. You know, makes, like I say, it's a one-off game. You've got now to lose. You might as well get beat, you know, 4 or 5 and have a go, than sit back and be negative. We had zero belief today that we could actually get anything out of that game. You could see from the first 10 minutes, the players had no belief. We had a little bit of a spell in the second half when Joe Linton went off. Pritchard then started to get on the ball. He had a couple of shots, but before then, we created absolutely nothing. To be fair to them, you know, they never created anything either. You know, they never cut us open, I would say, but they never got out of second gear. We just never turned up. They didn't have to. They won at the canter. The quality showed, you know, got all over the pitch. Gordon, Trippier, Jack Clark never ever got in the game, which might work in our favour, because all these players who think they're good enough to be in the Premier League got a massive wake-up call today. You know, Jack Clark included, Kieran Trippier, never give him an inch, he never got in the game. Ekwa, again, another wake-up call, looked offered, sloppy on the ball, wanted too much time. Job, I've already said, miles off the pace, and he had a stinker today, but we didn't take him off. This is the thing with our squad. It's threadbare. We've got no quality on the bench that can come on and change games. Russian, I thought, tried his best. He ran his heart out. I thought Dan Neil did all right in the middle of the pitch. You can see why Premier League teams are after him. I thought he held his own a little bit, but he had nothing around him. Dan Ballard and Luke O'Nien stood up best they could. You know, O'Nien tried to a bit more passion in the second half of that crunch and tackle on Gordon, I think it was, or Almiron. And then obviously Ballard gives the penalty away as well. So all in all, a really, really disappointing day. But in the grand scheme of things, it was what was expected. We were expected to get beat. Obviously, we hoped we could try and match them and sneak a draw or whatever, or beat them, you know, if they're on an off day, the away form. But like I said in my preview video, the teams that they have been getting beat off are miles, light years away from the teams that we've been playing. And you could see that today. Like I say, it was literally men against boys. A lot of players, massive wake-up call. It'll be a good learning curve for them. But the disappointing thing is for me that we didn't have any kind of confidence or belief installed from the manager. It was like you just roll over us. You know, and we made, like I say, 0 changes, 0 impact from the bench. 80 minutes before you decide to make a change. Not good enough for me. But, you know, it's a difficult one. I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. You know, you might have come on and thought I was going to come on and be ranty and, you know, spit me dummy out, but I'm not. It's not. That's just the way it is. It went to form. This is the first time in a derby game where the gulf in class has been that much. We've always been in the same league when we've played, but the difference between the two squads now is massive, and it showed. And it was just disappointing that we didn't give them a better game than what we could have had. We could have gotten in their faces. We could have been a bit more physical. There wasn't anybody in the centre midfield put in a clattering tackle. Like I said, Job got the ball and wanted half an hour. You haven't got that. We struggled to beat the press. We couldn't get through. The press was high. We kept giving it away. We kept being sloppy. But when we did revert along balls, it was coming back. You know, you've got Russian trying to beat Dan Burn in there. It's never going to happen. But a disappointing day. Obviously, it's always disappointing when you lose to your biggest rivals 3-0, you know, in a scoreline like that. But I'm trying not to be too disheartened. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. Yes, it could have been a lot better, but it also could have been a lot worse. I'm just pleased the whole thing now is finished. It's been a shit show from start to finish. From the ticket fiasco, from moving our seats to the Black Cats bar to the actual game. It's just been an absolute nightmare. So I'm pleased it's done. I'm pleased it's finished. We can now concentrate on getting back to the league. We've got Ipswich coming up at the weekend. Let's hope we can bounce back and have a decent performance down there. But let us know what your thoughts are. Like I've said, a lot of these players who want to play in the Premier League got a massive shock today of how good you have to be. And to be honest, there's a lot of them that are not. Nowhere near it, in fact. We had no pace. We were second to every ball. and like I say, the difference in class showed. But let us know what you think. Who was your man of the match? My man of the match, I would probably give it to Dan Neil. The referee wasn't at the best either. You know, I give a few really shocking decisions, getting away with murder. But on the other hand, we could have also had a red card for when I think it was Isak went through and Ballard pulled him down. He could have easily sent him off for that, but he didn't. So, like I say, all in all, disappointing day, disappointing result. Always the same when you lose against your biggest rivals, but I'm trying not to be too downhearted. I haven't come on and ranted because I don't think it's valid to rant. Just disappointing from the sidelines that we didn't put up more of a show. But thanks for watching. Until the next time, take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Ta-ra.